This is why we can't share a country with these people. They want to label everyone they disagree with manga, and to them, manga means fascist, means Nazi, and to them, Nazi means pure evil. And they call people these terms, these labels, etc. Not even because it's true, but because they want cause to kill you. They want justification to kill you. Why should we share a country with a bunch of bloodthirsty monsters who want to murder and execute their enemies in glorious righteous bloodshed? They're no different to the Crusaders. They just want execution of all their enemies because they're like a barbarian. They can't win the argument, so they gotta execute their enemies because they don't have justification for what they believe. They don't have a rationale for what they believe. And they can't win the debate. They can't win the argument. They don't have the evidence. So they gotta resort to violent murder because they're a bunch of barbarians. All the leftists should be kicked out of America and sent to a different country. Because here's the thing. If you let these people stay in the country and they get power, they will literally murder everybody. They're a bunch of bloodthirsty savages who justify the execution of all their opponents via dehumanization. They call everybody Nazis and fascists, but they're the same people who do the same tactic as Hitler did. Hitler dehumanized the Jews, he dehumanized them, said they were bad and evil, and then used that justification to kill them. They are no different to Nazis. They're no different. In fact, that's what they did to Charlie Kirk. They murdered him, and then they justified it because they said he was evil. That's why they say don't speak ill of the dead, because it's to have peace. It's to say, okay, don't be ignorant to these people. They're dead, they had their life, and move on. You know, pay your respects, right? But these people are savages, so they don't want to honor Chuck Norris for what he did as a martial artist, as a cultural figure. They don't want to honor that or respect that. They want to turn it into a political thing, and they want to justify his death because they wanted to kill him. They wanted to execute him because they see everyone they disagree with as Satan, as some embodiment of evil, because the leftists are all secular. They're all atheists, and they think that it's funny because they're secular, but they judge things in pure absolute terms. They see anyone they disagree with as evil and deserves to be murdered, but then at the same time, they're like secular. It's like, well, you know, you're trying to go by evidence-based standards of, oh yeah, we don't have evidence of a deity, so therefore there's no deity. But they still act in very pure, moralistic, black and white terms, so they're really no different. They're just secular religious zealots, pretty much, at that point. And I know I'm being kind of hyperbolic at the beginning, but that's literally what they're doing. They're justifying the execution of their opponents, the murder of their opponents, because they say they're evil. We shouldn't share a country with these people. We shouldn't. It's just, if we extend it long term, they will try to get some law in place or some practice in place so that they are allowed to engage in the bloodthirsty crusades of their enemies. They want to bathe in the blood of their enemies and execute all of them. Every lightliner, anyone who opposes them, you don't even have to be like a far-right person. You don't have to have views that are right-wing. Just disagree with them, and they want to pop a bullet in your fucking head. Actually, no, that's too tame. Leftists want to execute. They want to grab a knife and shove it in. They want to watch you die because they are evil monsters. I'm not going to be apologetic on this. You are literally justifying people dying because you disagree with them. Why should I be apologetic? If it was me, on the other hand, you'd watch me die because these people are just monsters. They are pure monsters.